So guys, we are getting into the end of September, and of course we still have 2 patches to go, but also at the end of October we do have the anniversary of War Thunder. The anniversary sale always happens there, and I wanted to talk a little bit about some vehicles that I really hope, and it's kind of a pledge to Gaijin, to add these vehicles to be in the sale. You know, some of the sales that we had in the past years have been kind of underwhelming. I understand, I have an understanding that they need to change between the vehicles that they add in these sales to basically make it's a business thing, right? They need to maintain a positive kind of line of thinking that okay, we need to still sell these vehicles out of the sale, you know, and of course with that, what they do, they keep changing the vehicles that are going to the sale so that people don't expect them and don't, you know, they can wait for the sales but not just do that for a certain vehicle, right? So it is understandable that as a business they kind of do that, but there are certain vehicles that with the, you know, spec that they normally do with the sales, that is basically have stuff that is on sale that wasn't added in the last 2 patches. We can kind of have some vehicles that are really needed to be in the sale because they either never got into one or they rarely got you know, one. So let's talk about them. I have 3 aircraft and then basically a lot of things. So the first one is this aircraft, guys. I still believe this thing needs to be in the sale. It is one of the most expensive, I mean, together with other ones, the most expensive you know, thing you can buy in War Thunder. It's around what, $75, so it's pretty expensive. There are regional pricing depending on the country that you are, but still it is pretty expensive. It's an aircraft that is it worth it? Well, yeah, but $75 is a lot of money. So I mean, a 50% discount on this thing would actually be incredible, and a lot of people would buy it because it is a super F5, right? It has an F18 Gripen engine. It has a good pulsed operator. It has, of course, not the best missiles ever, but for this BR it's pretty alright, which are the Sparrows and the M9s, but it doesn't have a lot of missiles, so it's not by any means OP. It's something that it is like an F-16A or something. It's there, you can do very well, but it's not OP by any means. But $75 is pretty expensive, so giving the players at least once a year a sale on this particular aircraft would make a lot of sense, and being the most expensive aircraft you can buy in the US means it makes even more sense, right? Another one is the Great Britain's or Indian MiG-21 Bison. In the same way that the F-20 is you know, an aircraft that needs to be on a sale, especially in the anniversary, I think the Bison is another one, right? It has an incredibly good radar for such a small one. It's still a MiG-21 bis in all sorts of other, you know, performance stats and stuff, but it does have the R-27s, the R-73s, and in the future, I have a feeling that they will eventually add the R-77 for this thing, since they added the data link targets and some of the other things that could mean that this thing could actually take an R-77 in the future, right? Perfect for grinding the UK. It's my, you know, main grinder for the UK, although I have some talismans that I spread around in some very good aircraft like the Gripen and stuff. I just love my MiG-21s, and of course the Bison is the MiG-21 that I always wanted to have in a game, which is based off of the Dash 93, right? So perfect aircraft. What is the problem with it? Price. It is pretty expensive, and it means that it needs a sale from time to time. Another one is the MiG-23ML. Yes, the MiG-23ML is still one of my favorite aircraft for grinding a nation. The USSR still, I mean, there are other options out there. You know, the USSR is one of the nations that get the most amount of premiums in the game. So, of course, we even have the AK-38 right now in a sale right now happening with a 30% discount, which can be a very good option. But, I mean, at least at 9.3, right? But the thing is, The MiG-23ML, it is pretty expensive, less than the other ones that we talked about, but it's still pretty expensive. I still believe that it's way better than the Su-39 for you to grind the Tech 3 itself. Remember, an aircraft, it's supposed to be grinding you the Tech 3 that he's in, right? So the MiG-23 is made to grind aircraft, which means that it is the best usage for it is to use in an air battle. A ground battle, yes, pretty good. Su-39, it can do well, but you will get more points flying and getting kills. It's the most efficient way of grinding. So a fighter would be way better at that than an Su-39, right? But yeah, amazing aircraft, pretty much an MLD. I mean, it has less turn technically, but still it has a little bit, tiny little bit more energy retention technically. Still uses the R35, which is one of the most amazing turbojet engines ever made in the sense of power to weight. You know, it's incredibly strong for a turbojet. It's crazy how fast this engine can make this aircraft. And the radar, not the greatest thing ever, but it still can be used with the R-24s. It's still an alright radar. The R-60M, I mean, maybe not the best missile out there, but it's still pretty usable. Has plenty of flares and chaff for these BRs, and it is just one of my favorite aircraft in the game. It's one of the aircraft that I get so many kills with it. I mean, of course, I can consider the MLD over here that I played so much, so I love any MiG-23, of course, the MLA and all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, amazing. I love this thing. People underestimate it. You can beat a lot of aircraft in a dogfight. Yes, it got nerfed, so you gotta think about that. It is turning less. It is accelerating in a different way from what it used to be, but it's still an amazing option. It is already cheaper than F-20 and the MiG-21. It can research even at rank 8. So a sale of these would mean that a lot of people would buy it. And then we go for the tanks, guys. And here I have to consider, I'm not going to talk every single tank in the game, but I mean, on a sale like the anniversary sale, they need to add, not that they never did that, but you know, they need to, every single anniversary sale, it needs to have at least one higher tier tank vehicle for each nation in a sale. So for example, I don't know, in this anniversary sale, rank 7, the KVT will be on sale. The next one, the Clickbait will be on sale. The next one, the Wolfpack. But it needs to have, each nation needs to have a tank in the highest ranks. It might be like rank 7, doesn't matter, of a premium. It doesn't need to be rank 6 or anything like that. Rank 7, you know, with a premium on sale over here. One of these 3 for the US, one of these 2 for the Germans, the 2A4M or the Leopard 2. One of these, how many they have here? They have a lot, but still. One of these for the USSR, one of these 2 for the British, I mean, this doesn't have many options here, but the Fuji over here for the Japanese, one of the 2, of course, the Al Khalid could not be added as a sale in the next update since it just got added, so they have a policy of not doing that. But yeah, the Type 96 in this one, for example, next year maybe the Al Khalid, the Centauro RGO, maybe a new premium for the Swedes to actually be on sale here, or at least some sales for these lower tiers, for the French, sorry, not for Swedes. For the Swedes, one of these 2, and of course these rallies with the Ramsegol. So yeah, guys, I still believe that the sales right now are not the greatest that they need to be. Again, this video is more of a pledge to you know, to ask for Gaijin for a sale like this, high tier stuff that will make people actually spend their money on stuff that it's worth it, really worth to actually grind, and be a 50% sale on a very expensive vehicle. So imagine how many of F-20s, MiG-21s, Clickbaits and stuff will actually be sold if there was a 50% discount on them. Again, not that they don't do that, they just don't do it often enough, in my opinion. And since a lot of people complain about these, I still believe that if they, I mean, it would increase the number of premiums in the games and stuff, and that could be a problem, I know. But you know, this is another problem that we need facing, you know, and still, if you have the premiums, if you give all the premiums, all the bonuses that they do have, at least give it a sale in the anniversary. on the victory day or something like that, right? So yeah, guys, wait for the next sale, probably around the 31st or whatever day, like very late in October, just after the next patch. And remember, we will see the next patch with the first dev blogs coming up very, very soon, like in less than 30 days for sure, in my opinion. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to check it out, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see you.